love Brodus. I would have never intentionally hurt him. No, ma'am.
Okay, y'all, let's get into this trial that just took place, and the verdict has already been released. Now, I haven't seen this around on the internet in the Christian community, but I want to talk about it, and I want to hear what y'all got to say about this whole situation. I mean, this is a pastor who has been unalived by his girlfriend, and he was married at the time. So let's listen to some of the trial, and I'm going to stop it every now and then to give a little bit of commentary, but also to stay in fair use of the video. So let's take a listen.
The following video is extremely disturbing. You've been warned.
As I was performing oral sex on him, he began to thrust himself inside my mouth really hard. And I told him that that was hurting. Then he grabbed my hair. I had long hair, and he wrapped my hair around his hand and he started yanking it. And when he wasn't thrusting himself in my mouth, he was pulling my hair really hard. And with his other hand, he would just hit me and hit me and hit me. And I was like, it's hurting. And he was like, you better not bite me. You better not bite me. And then after that, we had sex, and it was just rough, and it was hard, and it was just not what I was used to. And then once we finished, something he never ever does was he rolled over and just gave me the cold shoulder, and I was like, you're not gonna hold me? And he was like, no, and just went to sleep. I felt so used. I was just like, what has always happened to me?
Okay, let me give y'all a backstory so that we're not confused as we continue to watch this trial. The pastor was married. This lady, Miss Daniels, was also married when they both met. They met in Arkansas, where the pastor had a church in Arkansas. He later moved him and his family over to Memphis, Tennessee, where he was an executive pastor. Miss Daniels stayed in Arkansas because she worked as a social worker there. Now, Miss Daniels was married when she met the pastor, and she had an affair with him, but she eventually wound up divorcing, which is why they wound up even talking in the first place. So
now I want to talk to you about that counseling, okay? When you approached Brodus Perry about counseling, did you explain why you wanted counseling?
I did.
What did you tell him?
I told him that my husband and I were having some marital issues, and I just needed to figure out spiritually which direction. I just needed some spiritual guidance on direction.
Did Pastor Perry agree to meet with you?
He did.
Where did y'all meet?
We met in my office.
Why?
I didn't feel comfortable with being in the church, and I wanted to be in a safe space because this was, again, something that I was not fully embracing, that I had to deal with, and I wanted to be in a space where I knew that I could be able to be vulnerable.
During the first counseling session, what did you discuss?
Everything that was going on within my marriage.
How long was the first counseling session?
It was about 2 hours.
Were you emotional during that process?
Yes.
Were you open?
I was.
Did you tell him very personal, private things?
I did.
How long, well, at the end of that session, did you determine at that time that you were going to ask for a second session?
Yes.
How long until you had a second session?
It was approximately 2 to 3 weeks before the next one.
Did it feel good to get all of that off of your chest?
Yes.
you're asking a pastor to come counsel you and you decide where the meetup happens. See, that rubbed me the wrong way. Now, y'all just let me know what y'all think about this, because I read this in one of the comments. When a male pastor counsels a female, he should actually have another female with them or his wife. Y'all let me know if y'all agree with that. And while you're in the comments, let me know. Subscribe to the channel and like the video, please. The other thing that I noticed is the look to the side. She was looking one way, but when she had to explain why that meeting needed to take place in her office, the whole time she was looking this way. Because I wanted to feel comfortable and I needed a safe space. And so your office is a safe space and not the church. It just was a little weird to me. I'm just saying what what I got from it doesn't mean you have to get the same thing I got. Let's keep listening.
Did you reach out to Brodus Perry for a second counseling session?
I did.
Did he say that he would come do a second counseling session?
He did.
When you had your second counseling session, did you ask him about any odd behavior from the first session?
I did.
What was that?
In the first session, from the moment he walked through the door, he had his hands in his coat pocket, his jacket pocket, and he sat there the entire time during the session with his hands in his pocket. So I found that to be a little strange, but I didn't say anything in the first session. So I asked him during the section session, because he came in and he didn't have his hands in his pocket, and I was like, what was that with you having your hands in your pockets? And at that time he told me it was because he was trying to maintain his professionalism.
Was that the first time that you had any indication that he might be interested in you?
That was the first time.
Did you proceed to start with the second counseling session?
We did.
What happened after you started the counseling session?
As I was talking and sharing, Brodus reached over and grabbed, I had a 2-arm chair, and he pulled me toward him and began to passionately kiss me. And from there, in that session, we did have sex for the first time.
Were you proud of that encounter?
In hindsight, no, but at that time, he was giving me everything that I had been missing for a long time.
Did you know that he was married?
I did.
Did you know his wife?
I had, at that time, I had seen her at church, but didn't know of her.
You got to know her better later?
Yes.
How did you feel about the fact that Brodus was married?
At that time, honestly, I did not think about it. I knew that we both were married, and I was engaged in what he was giving me.
Had you had any attention like that in a long time?
No, I hadn't.
Had
In
you
years.
had any emotional attention?
Not in years.
Physical attention?
Not like that. No.
After your counseling sessions, did you end up getting divorced?
That was in February, and I did end up getting divorced in December of that year.
That's when it was finalized?
Yes.
So here we are with the second meetup. Let me tell you what this reminds me of. The story was Joab and Abner in 2 Samuel, where Joab wanted to get revenge on Abner, so he got him out of his safe space in order to unalive him. She got that man out of his safe space and had him come to her office in order to have her way with him. Now, I'm not completely blaming her. I'm just simply saying that God will have y'all in a space where you are covered. And the moment that you step out of that space, you are no longer covered. You have to watch when people are trying to deceive you, manipulate you, and convince you to leave a space where you are protected.
And did Pastor Perry encourage you to get divorced?
We talked about it, and there were times whenever we would be on trips, he would make mention of, oh, we can't do that until you get a divorce, or we can't do this until you get a divorce.
Now, I want to talk to you about your relationship with Brodus Perry, okay?
Okay.
After y'all had sex, did Brodus give you any particular instructions?
Yes. He immediately told me to download a app for us to be able to communicate. That app was called Confide.
Tell the jury what the Confide app did.
The Confide app, it's whenever you would send a message, and when you read that message, it would disappear. You couldn't screenshot it or anything like that. It would immediately disappear once you took your finger off the screen.
Did Brodus teach you how to use that app?
As we continued the app, it was probably maybe a week or two later, he found out that if you had, like, other people had your phone number in your phone and they had that app, then they could see you on it. So he had me to change my name on it and also change the way that I attached it to my account. So I went from having my phone number to coming up with a email address. So I made a new email address to be able to attach it that nobody else had.
And he taught you what all you needed to do for that app to do that,
Correct.
so that it could not be traceable back to you.
Correct.
And he did that all very quickly.
Yes.
It sounds like this lawyer is insinuating that he had an affair before, which is why he knew how to do all of this. Now, keep in mind, he's not here to defend himself. I'm just making sure that y'all are picking up what she's putting down.
Did he have, or was it almost a rule? Was it a rule that you had to use that app to talk to him?
Most definitely. That was our main form of communication. As the relationship went on, if he wanted to use a different form of communication, like an email or maybe even direct messaging, he would then tell me, go to this platform or go to that one. But it was not, if I was to reach out to him without him reaching out to me first, I had to use the Confide app.
Did he set any other rules for your relationship?
Yes. As far as it came to trips that he wanted me to go on with him, I was the one who had to pay my way as far as airfare or travel, and then he would, his words would, he would then take care of the rest, meaning that I would have somewhere to stay. When I was in the hotel rooms, I was to stay naked. I couldn't have on any clothes. I had to, and the only way I would have clothes on is if, we were getting ready to go out. But other than that, when in the hotel room, I had to be naked. I couldn't, if something was to have happened to him as far as medically, he did not want me to call 911. I would have to call, who we referenced him as the professor, but it was Pastor Pointer. I would have to call him in order to get him emergency attention. He said verbatim lots of times, do not call 911.
Did he add any rules towards the end of your relationship?
At the end of the relationship, he wanted me to say yes, sir, and no, sir to him.
This is a very unfortunate situation for all involved. You have a wife who supposedly did not know this man was sleeping around, and she wound up getting pow-powed in the shoulder or arm or something. She lived. You have a pastor who was committing adultery who's been unalived, and you have a mother who is sitting behind bars waiting to see what her sentencing will be. This is just unfortunate across the board. Now, y'all can look up the scriptures about adultery, because I've talked about it before. You can look up the scriptures about pastors being held to a higher standard than us regular old folks, because they are leading God's sheep. Incidents like this have happened one too many times. I don't know what it's going to take for people to learn that they do not need to mess around on their partners. I don't know. But y'all let me know y'all thoughts in the comments below, because that's what I'm here for.